Good morning, YouTube. Major G backing up. Sorry for the delay. Life gets in the way. All that stuff. But, I'd like to thank J6X or 3X's, whatever. Thanks for letting me know. The brand new Terra ForMars trailer just came out yesterday. So, oh my god, yes. I've been waiting for this. I knew it was coming soon. Didn't know exactly when it was going to be coming out. But this is definitely something to be excited about. If you saw the last one, you know, I talked about what Terra ForMars is. Yeah, about what Terra ForMars is. So, this is definitely a longer trailer. It's probably about, this looks like it's about another minute longer. So we're going to get a better idea. Was it 30 seconds or 50 seconds? It's either 30 or 50, 30 or a minute longer. So we're going to get a better idea of what the movie is going to be about. So this ought to be very, very, very interesting. All right. And yeah, that's what it is. So, and it does say it's supposed to come out at the end of April. April 29th, that is in Japan. So, here we go. Terra ForMars official trailer number 2.
地球が人間で溢れ返った今、唯一の望みが火星というわけなんですね。火星に行くには少々危険な手術が必要でね。
私行きます。
こんな話裏があるに決まってるだろ。間もなく火星の大気圏に突入する。着陸だ。
人類存亡をかけたミッション。何も知らない15人が火星に送り込まれた。
俺たちは犯罪者以下の人間なんだって。地球のゴミが火星のゴミ掃除に向かう。
何してんだてめえ。
Oh, are they going to show transformations?
政府はテラフォーマーと呼んでいる。
森木もやられた。
想像以上に生命力が強かった。
Yo. Oh, I saw one. Whoa, the cockroaches look awesome. Oh my god, there's something, there's something in spaceship.
必ず生きて帰る。
君たち一人一人に昆虫の DNA
Transformation.
騙したな。
Yes, transformation. Yes. Oh my god, I love this! Ah, look at the action! Oh my god, this action is awesome! Oh my god! Oh my god! I love this! Yes! Yes! This is awesome!
俺の友達だ。
Wait, why does that's not Shukichi? He can't have wings. Shukichi doesn't have wings? Oh my god, that was so freaking awesome. I have to go back and watch that again. That was so freaking cool. Alright. Alright. Calm down a little bit. If I can. Woo! Relax. Chill out. Okay. Calm down. Now that I've calmed down a little bit. So, I got my transformations just like I wanted. So, this is... I'm gonna calm down a little bit. Not go all fanboy mode. And try to calmly look at this again. Alright. Here we go. One more time. Second time in a row. Terra ForMars, second trailer. God, I wish this was subtitled.
星というわけなんですね。
Now, why does that dude look like he's in charge?
私行きます。
From what I remember, there wasn't really anybody who was in
火
charge.
星の大気圏に突入する。着陸だ。
人類存
Oh
亡
no, wait. What's his name?
知らない
The army guy.
火星に送り込まれた。
俺たちは安全
I'm a little disappointed that if they once again made a Gaijin character a Japanese person. Oh!
何してんだてめ
The cockroaches look awesome.
政府はテラフォーマーと呼んで
Oh, that must be the army guy.
乗り気もやられた。
想像以上に生命力が強かった。
Woo! Look at that clip. Oh, the cockroaches look awesome. Woo!
俺たち
Oh,
は
he jumped off the head!
君たち一人一人に昆虫の DNA を組み込んでいる。
騙したな。
Woohoo! Yeah!
してないこんなところで俺より
Oh, look at my man.
どこまで進化するのか。
Oh, that was the praying mantis shit.
必ず戻ってくるからな。生きて地球に帰れ。俺の友達だ。
テラフォーマーズ。
That can't be Shokichi, though. That can't be Shokichi. All right. Whew. All right, so I was able to relatively calmly look at that and react. Sorry, I love Newtons. Newtons are delicious. I haven't had Newtons in years. I just bought some yesterday. So I reference saying so all the time. That looked pretty freaking awesome. The action looked amazing. And the CG didn't look over the top cheesy. I think that's probably Takashi Miike. Like, the dude is awesome with CG. Based on what he did with Yadaman. Yadaman and Ace Attorney. Neither of their CG looked over the top. They actually looked really good. Now, as I mentioned during the trailer, there is an army guy. There's an army guy. I can't remember the guy's. I want to say his name is like Williams or something like that. I can't remember. And I couldn't remember at first. But in the first mission. So this is going to be the prologue. This is going to be the prologue. So there's a possibility there might be more movies afterwards. And especially, it could work out, especially now that, because there could be like another 2 or 3 movies. Especially now that the manga is there, and the manga, the third mission, because this is the second mission. The first one was the ones where the astronauts got wiped out. We never actually see. So this is the second mission, and in the third mission, which is 25 years later, the manga is just now getting to them getting off of Mars. So, and that's like, oh my god, this is at like 100 and almost 70 chapters, and they're just now about to get off of Mars. And I think that was like, how long did they say what a day was over there? This is like 5 or 6 days. Like, oh my, yeah, it's ridiculous. I can't remember. I gotta look that up and see what Mars's days are, because in the third mission they established that the cockroaches don't come. What was it? Do they come out at night, or they only come out in the daytime? I forget. There's a certain time when the cockroaches only come out. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read that chapter, but they established that they either only come out at night or they only come out in the daytime. But this is the third mission. So this is the second mission, and the manga never really makes a real difference between whether it's night or day on Mars, except for this third mission part. And right, so once again. This is probably going to be my one complaint. I don't know why he gave Shokichi wings. I can see why he gave Shokichi wings. If that is Shokichi at the end flying up and like and like uppercutting that cockroach. Shokichi Komachi has the power of the Japanese hornet, as I said, the Suzume Bachi. And the hornet, of course, has wings. However, Shokichi's transformation doesn't give him wings. There's only a certain amount of people that have wings, and it's a very big deal for the people that do. And I think there's only like, in total, there's probably like 4 or 5 people that actually get wings. So I guess I can see how he gets wings. That's a minor addition. That's not a big deal. It's not a super big deal if he gives Shokichi wings. It would probably actually make it a little more interesting. So this is a big problem. This is something else. Going back to the army guy, which is what I was talking about. I'll remember. Williams I said it was. I can't remember the guy's name. But this is a big problem with Japanese cinema. If you followed the Attack on Titan movie and the reaction and controversy surrounding that, you'll know that one of Japan's biggest problems with their cinema is that they don't cast gaijin. Or if they do, the gaijin never speak Japanese. Now, on some small Japanese shows, it might be rare for them to allow it. Like there's a line commercial. There's a line commercial of a black guy, a goofy looking black guy, to be honest. It's very amusing, but there's a very pretty effeminate black guy dancing and singing in Japanese or something like that. He's like singing he says something in Japanese. But it's very, very rare to have gaijin speak Japanese in Japanese media. And I don't know, and for some reason the Japanese media perpetuates, or there's this big kind of myth, or not a myth, a stereotype. There's a big stereotype, and for the most part it is true that gaijin don't speak Japanese. And the media perpetuates this stereotype. And for the most part, like I said, the stereotype is true. However, not to the level that they do that. So, there are gaijin that speak Japanese. Like me, I speak some Japanese. Unrested speaks some Japanese. If you know of Victor, Give Me a Flake Man, Give Me a Break Man, he's a Peruvian American who, I think he's Peruvian American, who has been over in Japan for 20 years. He speaks Japanese. Kiko Simon or something. He speaks. There's a lot of J-vloggers. Rachel from Rachel and June speaks Japanese. Mexican Samurai, this big buff American Mexican dude, says that he's as good in Japanese as he is in English, and English is his first language. So it's not like there aren't gaijin that don't speak Japanese, and I'm sure many of them actually do get into try to get into acting over there. And I definitely learned that this was the case when I was on a Japanese TV show once, when I was living out here. Sometime last year, it was sometime between January and March, Tabi Sareda, a Japanese travel show, came over here, and my managers knew that I really liked Japanese and I was learning the language, so they offered to have me be in the show. And so I'm on Tabi Sareda for probably about 30 seconds. And there's a scene where the lady in Tabi Sareda comes to Bright Angel Lodge, Grand Canyon, and she checks in. And they had me go and check the lady in. And when I told them, I went up to the guys and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to do this in Japanese? Because it probably is a lot simpler for your audience if I just do this in Japanese." And they're like, "No, we don't want you to speak Japanese. Just speak English." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's very simple. I can speak Japanese. It's very, very simple. It's very simple stuff. Konnichiwa, grand kai ni yokoso, and anata no kagi dozo." Very, very simple Japanese. And they were just like, no, just speak English. And I've noticed from watching a lot of Japanese media too that they'll often yellow wash characters. Like for example, as I mentioned before, with the Attack on Titan scandal, or controversy, with the Attack on Titan controversy. Because if you don't know anything about Attack on Titan, or you haven't read the manga, if you haven't read the manga, because I don't think they make it as big of a deal in the anime, but in the manga they establish that there's only one Asian character in the entire series so far, and that is Mikasa. Mikasa Ackerman is the single Asian person. Everyone else is Caucasian, as we know so far. There might be some black people in there. There might be some Mexicans. But for now, they all have German, which is why they all have German names. They're all white, except for Mikasa. And spoiler alert, Levi is not Asian. He was apparently adopted and given that name. Something like that. He was, yeah. But he's not Asian, even though he shares Mikasa's last name. And yet, in the Attack on Titan movie, everyone was Asian. And the one person who was supposed to be Asian was half Asian. So there were a lot of people who were very upset about that. Going back to Terra ForMars, finally. The army guy is white. He's a white American guy. Big, buff, blonde-haired white guy. And this semi-matters because I don't think he really needs to... There's no real plot point as to him being white. So he could have been anything as long as it wasn't Japanese. As long as he was American. He had to be American. As long as he was American but just not Japanese. And because he's from the army, he's from what do we call ours? The U.S. Army, I guess. Yeah, he's from the United States Army, and his power was the power of the army ant. Oddly enough, and he was the guy who was in charge of the mission. He was the only person that actually knew what was going on. Everyone else was just kind of clueless. They just knew they were there to do something. They didn't know exactly what it was. So once again, there didn't seem to be any non-Japanese looking people in there. So it looks like they once again yellow washed a non-Japanese character, and that is my one disappointment so far. My one real disappointment. Because I would like to see more Gaijin when there's supposed to be a Gaijin as a character. It would be nice to see an actual Gaijin as a character, and it's okay if they speak Japanese, because I'm sure there are lots of Gaijin over in Japan that speak English. I mean, there are lots of Gaijin over in Japan that speak Japanese. I mean, I'm sure it's not that difficult. They're probably telling people, it's probably more difficult for some people for them to tell some people, no, we can't cast you because you can't speak English or something. So, but yeah, overall, it looks good. Once again, I'm just disappointed that that they yellow washed another Gaijin character. It would be nice to see something other than Japanese faces in Japanese cinema and not speaking English. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie anyway. I believe that was pretty much the only person I can think of that wasn't really where it was actually necessary that they weren't Japanese. But yeah, so I look forward to. Oh yeah. So yeah, the reason it actually does matter is because the main character for the main story, which is the third mission, is going to be a Japanese person that Shikichi finds in Thailand or something like that. But the army guy can't be Japanese because he ends up having a daughter, and his daughter is from the other side of the country. She's from America, so it matters that they be American. Doesn't matter what race they are. They just can't be Japanese. That's it. All right. Well, once again, I was very excited to go ahead and take a look at this. Thanks for letting me know, DearJXXX about this. This video is running very long again. Well, that's how you know I'm not stealing. I'm not just stealing content. I'm actually critiquing and talking about this stuff. All right. So thanks for watching. If you have any other stuff for me to react to, I will go ahead and do that. I have a couple of ones that people have asked me to do, and I'm going to do those. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Boom.